Okay, hi guys, welcome to another video. I know right now that it is only Tuesday night, and I know that my weekend vlogs start on a Thursday. However, I've had a really successful reading week so far, and I've had a really successful work week, and I'm very excited for tomorrow. So I decided that I'm just going to start filming tonight because I want to. So why wouldn't I, you know? So, firstly, this is almost completely irrelevant to everything I wanted to talk about in this video, but I also think let's get these thoughts out before I forget these thoughts. I don't know if anyone has watched my horror deep dive video. Probably not. It is like from over a year ago, and it was over, I think it was over an hour long. I think it was my first long video. And it was a challenge where I was going to deep dive into 12 different genres within horror and see which genre I ended up liking the most. See if there were any surprises, any books that I could recommend going forward, etc. And I, for this challenge, read Geek Love by Catherine Dunn, because it was put down as a cult book. Now, technically that's not incorrect. However, I actually rated Geek Love 1.5 stars. And I think the biggest part of that was because it was not what I expected it to be. It was in a horror challenge, like a horror reading challenge. And I don't think the book itself counts as a horror, okay? So at the time, I gave it 1.5 stars. I think I mentioned at some point that, like, the first half of the book I would have given 4 stars, but the second half of the book I would have given 1 star, so I like averaged it to a 1.5 to a 2 star, like roughly. So that was fine. I forgot about Geek Love, like it was buried in my past. And then I watched a video today. I will insert the booktuber's name / channel here if I remember. And I watched this video, and their review of Geek Love made me rethink how I felt about Geek Love. Their review, like I was watching their review and thinking, oh my god, I forgot that that happened. Oh, I forgot that that happened. Oh my gosh, that was actually a really interesting concept. And it's like, the reason I didn't like it when I read it was, like I said, because it wasn't horror. But I think if I change my mindset and don't think of it as a horror and think of it as just like a literary fiction about a super dysfunctional family, maybe I could give it another shot. Is that too optimistic? Long story short, I unhauled Geek Love as soon as I finished reading it because, like I said, I didn't enjoy it that much. And now I want to repurchase it, which is so dumb. I hear what I'm saying, and to me it sounds stupid. But also, I had the ugly cover of Geek Love. I had the ugly cover that no one in their right mind would go out and like specifically try and find. I mean, the designer of this cover should be taken out the back and shot between the eyes. Thank you. Into that cover. So I am considering repurchasing Geek Love and rereading Geek Love. I don't know why. Because like, my emotional side that usually wins when I'm purchasing books is like, but just read it again. And even if you don't read it again, you'll have a physical copy of a book that you didn't like, but you can reference it and lend it out and whatever. The logical side of me is like, hey dickhead, A, you don't have any money to spend on books, but B, even if you did, wouldn't you rather enjoy the feeling of purchasing brand new books that you've never read before? So I haven't come up with a conclusion or an end to this story. Just know that I've got mixed feelings about Geek Love right now, and I'm considering repurchasing and rereading it, which then made me think, I never finished my horror deep dive. I got halfway through, I did 6 out of the 12 categories, realized the video was getting too long, and thought I'll just make it 2 parts, and then I never started the second part. So I'm also considering doing that. When am I going to find time for that? Don't know. Good question. Let's actually talk about why I started this video and why I want to talk to you guys. I read Check and Mate by Miss Ellie Hazelwood, okay? I have only ever read Ellie Hazelwood's books in chronological release date. This was the next one, so I am so far behind with Ellie Hazelwood. I've got Not in Love, Bride, Deep End, Problematic Summer Romance, and then Mate is coming out as well. So I've got 5 Ellie Hazelwood books to catch up on, but this was the next in my list. So I decided to pick this up even though I wasn't really feeling it, because this book has been advertised, at least to me, has been pitched as a young adult romance. Now, maybe the term young adult has changed from when I myself was a young adult, but when I was a young adult meant like, we're following kids in high school. like between the ages of like 14 and 17, and these kids that are going through like really difficult things in their home lives, but like usually the two main characters find solace in each other. And very much like when we kiss, I feel sparks. And the first time, if it happens in the book, that they are intimate, it's usually something like our bodies melted together and I saw fireworks or something. This is not a YA. This is a new adult book, because the main characters are 18 and 20, and while there is no on-page depictions of sex, like, we are talking about sex quite a lot. We're having open conversations about sexuality and virginity and all that sort of stuff. So I definitely don't think this is YA. I don't know why I either got it into my head or why it was pitched as YA when it first came out. That was the reason I've been so hesitant to read this, because like, I'm not really a YA girly anymore. But YA, this book is not. So long story short, I fucking loved it. I don't care about chess. Like, I know the basic rules of chess. I kind of know how to play. I do not give a shit about chess. But you know what? I gave a shit about this book. I don't know if you guys know this, but on work nights, I try and read. I usually don't. So for me to finish this today, when I started it yesterday, so I started this on a Monday night and I finished it on a Tuesday afternoon. That just shows you that this book was really fucking good. I really love it. Longest of stories short, we are following Mallory. Mallory used to love playing chess, but then her asshole of a father ruins chess for her, basically. And she's like, nope, done with chess, never playing it again. Until she gets roped into playing chess and accidentally beats the world, like, #1 chess champion. And he just becomes obsessed with, like, who is this girl that came out of nowhere and beat me? Like, I need to know more about her. They end up interacting a few more times, becoming friends, becoming more than friends. I loved this story. I loved their relationship. I loved Mallory as a character because I felt everything she felt. Usually in romances, I will have a moment where the FMC says or does something and I'm like, girly, you're being stupid right now. But when Mallory was making decisions and saying things, I was right there with her. Like, she had a moment at the end of this book where she snapped at her family, and I was like, preaching to the fucking choir. So, I love this book. I would give it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Sorry, I made my camera shake. But I didn't want to just stop reading. I want to keep up this whole reading thing that I'm doing right now. So I decided to start reading The Troop by Nick Cutter. Now, funny story. Pretty sure this was one of the books that I was supposed to read in the second part of my horror deep dive. Oops. Probably would have been a good time to start filming that video. I have not done that, and I probably won't do that, but this has been on my TBR for a while. Decided that it was just time to read it. I'm not quite a third of the way through. I'm about 100 pages in. I just started this like an hour ago. This book is fucking gross. And like, that is coming from someone. I'm typically not super affected by books. There have been very few books that have made me like physically react. One of them was I'm Thinking of Ending Things. That book, it gave me so much anxiety and I was so uncomfortable and I felt so tense and like uncomfortable in my skin that I had to put it down. Other books obviously have made me cry, have made me laugh, but this book made my stomach turn, and I'm only 100 pages in, okay? The only things I've read so far is just like this body gore. Just the descriptions of like, there was someone, we're talking about someone's like intestines, and I don't want to spoil it, but it was basically just his hand slipped on a severed link of tube which pulped under his palm like a rotten banana. It's pretty disgusting. There was some description of like some body part being described as looking like angel hair pasta. And like I said, I'm 100 pages in. And I've heard that there's something to do with turtles in here that is apparently like the most disturbing scene. So I haven't even gotten to the bad stuff yet. And I was reading this and I was like, ugh, gross. Which says a lot that this is, I don't even know what this is. Like, I think it's just horror. Like, it's just a horror book. But the fact that I have never reacted like this when reading Splatterpunk, which pushes the envelope, like, I feel like that's saying something. So Nick Cutter, you're a disgusting little man, and you're very, very talented. So I might read a little bit more of this tonight. But I might not, and I'm not going to pressure myself because I did finish a book today. But guys, guess what? Tomorrow is Wednesday, which means it is the last day of my work week. We love that, right? But guess what else tomorrow is? Tomorrow is the day I go and see Troy for the second time and last time, because like it's literally only in Melbourne, I think, till the end of next week. But I am seeing Troy again tomorrow, and obviously no one watches my videos, so me talking about it in my last video has definitely not encouraged anybody to go and watch it. But I love the production of Troy that is on right now at the Malthouse Theatre in Melbourne. If there is anyone in Melbourne who likes Greek mythology and does not know that Troy is the thing that is happening, I'm so sorry for you, because it was so good. Like, I don't know what to say. It is just hard-hitting. It shows the Trojan War from multiple different perspectives, and the acting is fabulous, and the music and the visuals, like, it is just such a perfect production. I cannot praise it highly enough. And the first time I saw it was a preview performance. This is not. This is like a normal performance. So I'm wondering if there's going to be any changes between the preview that I saw 2 weeks ago and the one that I'm seeing tomorrow. I'm seeing it tomorrow. I'm so excited. Honestly, a tiny part of me is like, I cannot be bothered driving into the city after work. Like, I cannot be bothered coming home from work, getting ready, and then driving back out to the city. But you know what? I will do it for Troy. For Troy, it is worth it. And then on Thursday, I don't have work, which means reading time. And I'm catching up with one of my co-workers from my last job, the job from hell. The job that, like, literally traumatized the both of us. The job that basically flushed our mental health down the toilet. The job that both of us hate with a burning passion. I'm catching up with her. So I'm very excited. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I've got zero plans. I think my mother wants to go to Panda Mart because a new one just opened up in Melbourne. She might want to go this weekend. But for the most part, I'm just so fucking pumped. So yeah, I just wanted to like film this because I don't know if I'm going to film anything tomorrow. I might not. But I just want you guys to know that I'm very, very fucking excited to see Troy again, and that Ellie Hazelwood can do no wrong, and that Geek Love, it might get a second chance on my bookshelves, which is crazy to say. That never really happens. So I will chat to you whenever I chat to you. So guys, I just finished work. I have got Troy tonight, so I don't know why I thought right now is a good time to go Savers, but I am going to go Savers. So let's go see if I can find anything. Okay, I only bought 4 books, and one of them isn't for me, and one of them isn't being added to my TBR because I've already read it, so I only bought 2 books still. Okay, it is later Wednesday night. I did in fact see a Troy, and it was just as good the second time. Just as good. A little bit cleaner, a little bit sharper, but like, I just loved it. Like, it is just such a well done play. It's such a good performance. I love all the actors. Like, I don't know how to, like, there are no words. There are no words. Anyway, I thought that I should have probably done this earlier, but I didn't. So I thought I would go through the books that I ended up getting at Savers on my way home from work today. So the first book I got is, I think it's Kafka on the Shore by Murakami. Is that his name? I only bought this for my brother because I know that he's had an interest in this author for a couple of years now, and he hasn't actually read any of his books. So I thought, I saw it, I think it was like $5.50, and I was like, cool. Like, I've been keeping an eye out for those books in case I see one for my brother. So I already gave that to him. Then the other book that I don't think counts because I've already read it is My Sister, the Serial Killer. This one was also $5.50. I have read this book before. I've also owned this book before. It was a book that I unhauled when I was going through one of my like mad frenzies of if the book didn't get 4 stars or higher, it was gone. And I think this just got cut at like a 3.5. I don't think I disliked this book from memory. I didn't dislike it. It was just different than what I expected. And I think my rating maybe reflected that. So I think I'm going to give this one another chance. Like, literally, it's Geek Love all over again. I just think maybe I judged this a little harshly. And now that I know what it's about and how it's formatted and the general vibe, I think I can go into it with a fresh lens and hopefully enjoy it more a second time. But even if I don't love it more than the first time I read it, I always regretted getting rid of it. So I'm glad to have it back on my shelves. This one was also $5.50. Then the next one I purchased. Like, I don't actually know what this story is about at all. Okay, it's a work of nonfiction. That's what I needed confirmation on. I found Three Women by Lisa Taddeo. She is the author who wrote Animal, which I read 1 or 2 months ago, and I really enjoyed Animal. It was really dark and gritty in a way that I wasn't expecting. I thought it was a really surprising book in a good way. It was just very surprising. I didn't expect to enjoy it that much. It really exceeded expectations. And after reading that, I always had intended at one point to read Three Women. I just didn't want to purchase it brand new in case I didn't enjoy it. But then I found this today and I was like, yoink, grabbed it right off of the shelf. Not that anyone cares, but I'm pretty sure the spine is going to match perfectly with my edition of Animal as well, which is always fun. This was $4.50, so this one was $1 cheaper than the others for some reason. And like I said, this is a work of nonfiction, so I'm just going to quickly scan through the author's note at the front with you guys. Over the course of 8 years, I've spent thousands of hours with the women in this book. So we are following, I think, 3 women in this book. The author used court documents, news articles, spoke to reporters, judges, attorneys, investigators, colleagues to confirm timelines and events. Almost all the quotes come from legal documents, emails, letters, recordings, and interviews with the women. Yeah. So it is the story of 3 women. I don't know what this story, like what these women specifically, like if they have anything in common. So we are following Lena, Sloane, and Maggie. Based on the general vibes of Animal, I would assume that the thing that these women have in common is probably some sort of violence or some sort of turbulent past, or some sort of essay. I don't know. I'm just making assumptions, but that kind of seemed to be, at least from what I read in Animal, where Lisa Taddeo really shines. So I'm wondering if that's also something that she continued into nonfiction. I don't know. But I am very excited for this book. The only downside is, and I think this is probably why it was $1 cheaper, is there's like, it looks really gross on camera. It looks really gross in real life as well, but it's like, it almost feels like resin. Or like someone was like super gluing something and using the book as like a steady base, because like it's like, yeah, dried glue or dried resin. So I don't know how I'm gonna get that off, but I will definitely get it off because it's just going to annoy me. Sorry, this camera angle is so bizarre. It's like almost 1 in the morning and I just can't be bothered. The last book I found is maybe potentially the one I'm most excited to have. Like, I saw it at Savers and I was like, that's crazy, because the amount of times I've almost purchased this book brand new, wild. Now pronouncing this might be difficult for me. I think it's a Lapvona by Ottessa Moshfegh. This book was recommended to me on Instagram. I don't remember if it was a Zodiac based recommendation or if it was an A24 based recommendation. It was either because I'm an Aquarius or because Pearl is one of my favorite A24 movies. I don't remember which, but it was recommended to me very, very specifically. I have no idea what this book is about. I've only ever read one Ottessa Moshfegh book, which was her short story collection that I wasn't entirely obsessed with. I've heard this is also a weird one. I think Ottessa Moshfegh is just a weird author. I just don't know if she's the right kind of weird author for me. And yeah, I know that this is like historical, which is probably why I've been so hesitant to commit to purchasing it in the past. It's set in a village in a medieval fiefdom. Oh, I just feel so stupid reading this. See, this is what I mean. I feel like Ottessa might just be like too smart for me. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel very, very tired right now. So yeah, this one was also at $5.50. So considering I was at Savers, like, you guys would know better than me, but like, I was only at Savers a week or 2 ago and none of these books were there. So I might have to start going to Savers once a week. I think that's basically what I've come to, the conclusion I've come to, because I feel like if I go there just say once a month or once every second month, it just seems like the same old books and there's nothing new. But I feel like the more frequently that I'm going, the more exciting finds I'm finding. So I don't know. Either way, I think I mentioned I'm reading The Troop. I did not read any of it today because I literally left work, went to Savers, got home from Savers, gave my brother his book, and then I just napped with Oliver until it was time for me to start getting ready to go see Troy. So did not read a single word tonight, but I want to get through more of The Troop tomorrow, and then I have decided to start Betting on You by Lynn Painter next. I know I just read 2 Lynn Painters last month. Not even. One of them was this month. But, yeah, I think it's time. Because after this, I will only be 1 Lynn Painter book behind. So, yeah, no idea what this is about either. So, anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Good night. I will talk to you people tomorrow at some point. Happy Thursday, my friends. Now, it is technically afternoon, but it's not because I haven't been productive, it's just because I kind of forgot that I was filming a video. I read a little bit more of The Troop this morning, so I'm at page 168. What I will say for this book is, considering that it is like a horror, it is a body horror, it's quite graphic, there's a lot of descriptions and kind of gross stuff. It's very slow. Like, nothing's really happening. Now, one thing I will say is that no one told me that this book is told through like articles and interviews and like diary entries and stuff. I had no idea. I thought it was just a novel. So those little inserts are quite fun, but it's just a very, very slow book overall. So I'm going to get back into it very shortly, but I am going to add another page for Troy in my junk journal. So the one I did for Troy last time I saw it is this double page spread. And I'm probably going to do just another single. I'll probably just do a single page here for seeing it again. I still can't get over how good that production is. I don't know how to explain it, man. It is just so well done. So yes, I will be doing that now. I'll watch maybe some YouTube videos while doing that and then jump back into The Troop. I feel like there's something I'm supposed to be doing right now that I, for the life of me, cannot remember. But anyway. Hello, my friends. It is Friday. Now, I have just finished lunch, but guess what? I've also just finished The Troop. So I did finish this today. I don't think I liked it as much as I thought I would. I think I just imagined something different. I think if you are looking for something like gory, full of body horror, this is definitely something you should give a go. For me, it just wasn't really the vibe. I'm probably going to give it like a 3-star. Like, it wasn't just a boring average book, but for me, it just didn't hit the way I think it's hit a lot of other people. But I also received a package from Amazon today, and it is my copy of Strange Houses. So I already have Strange Pictures, and I've been wanting to get this. For some reason, even though it was released everywhere else in the world, it didn't release in Australia until like last week. So that's another fun book I have. I also got another book in the package. It's a birthday present for one of my friends, so we don't need to show that, but yeah. So what I'm going to do now is write up a review for The Troop, watch some YouTube videos while I do that, and then I think once I've finished, I'm going to start Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I'm not really in the mood for it, but it is next on my TBR. So I watched some Papa Make videos with my brother. We had lunch together. I haven't really done anything else today apart from read and have lunch, so yeah. I do want to get my nails done at some point this weekend. Like, look at that growth. Like, they look ridiculous. But I'm honestly just a little bit too lazy. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll go. If I do, I will let you know and show you. Literally, as soon as I filmed that last clip, I was like, what is stopping me from going out and getting my nails done? So I got my nails done. We took the acrylics off and we just got SNS on my natural nails. I think they're cute. I think they're really cute. Now I'm going to write a review for The Troop while watching some YouTube, and then I'm going to start Betting on You by Lynn Painter. It's been an hour and a half since I last saw you. Like, I've fully been out of the house. Anyway, I like them. I'm happy I got them done. I also got some brown hair dye. So I'm going to get rid of all this light. Not today. So today's Friday. Hair wash day is Sunday. So on Sunday, probably Sunday morning, I got a color that matches my natural color, I think, fairly well. And I'm just going to, cut my hair shorter. Maybe like that much. So cut all that shit off and then dye it one consistent color. I think I'm ready to be boring and grown up again, because I go through like old TikToks and stuff where my hair was all one color and shorter, and it just looks so cute. So we're gonna try and recapture that this weekend. But obviously you guys will be updated the whole time. Let's write a review of The Troop. I was gonna wait till Sunday to dye my hair, but we are doing it now instead because I am angry. So as you can see, I was planning on dyeing my hair Sunday. It's still Friday night, so I did it early because like I was in a bit of a weird mood before, you know, like sometimes when you're angry, like you just need to dye your hair. I don't know if you can tell, especially because it's curly, but I did also cut off like a significant-ish amount, so it's still drying. It is a little bit darker than I had hoped for, but I am glad that it is like fully covered all that like orangey blonde at the bottom. So this is still drying. It's like still super damp underneath, so I'm just gonna leave my hair like this. But did want to give you guys an update. I'd say about halfway through Betting on You by Lynn Painter, and so far I'm really enjoying this. It is giving me all the vibes of Better Than the Movies, so I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. I'm liking the dynamic between these two characters, and this is a good reminder to myself that I do love Lynn Painter. I just feel like Nothing Like the Movies was such an outlier for me as far as Lynn Painter books go. That book to me was just objectively so bad, but this is reminding me of why I love Lynn Painter. So I'm gonna aim to finish this tonight, because like I said, I'm halfway through without even really trying to, you know, hit a goal. Sometimes I struggle with sitting down and dedicating time to reading. So like with The Troop, I'd be like, okay, Steph, you need to get to page 100 tonight, or you need to read for at least an hour before you get distracted and do something else. I have not had to like set any of those goals for myself while reading this book because it is just so easy. I dyed my hair, I sat down, started reading it, and I've only just stopped to relocate to my bedroom and to film this video. So yeah, really enjoying it. Basically we follow Bailey and Charlie, and they meet at an airport, instantly hate each other, very like type A versus type B, and they kind of keep running into each other over the years until they end up being co-workers. And Charlie has this whole theory that men and women can never be friends. They're either more than friends or they're not friends at all. And they have this little bet going based on some of the other co-workers, but for the most part, Bailey and Charlie are both teenagers who have divorced parents, and they have kind of bonded over that. And Charlie is trying to help Bailey deal with her mom's new boyfriend as a product of divorce. This is all very relatable to me, like wanting so bad to say something when a parent's new partner tries to parent you, and the first time that you start living with an adult who isn't your parent that has come into your life. And yeah, this book is very very relevant to me when I was younger, so I'm enjoying all of it. I'm thoroughly enjoying my time with this. Hopefully, like I said, I'll finish this tonight. And the plans that I had for the rest of the weekend, I did today. I was going to do this on Sunday. I did it today. I was going to get my nails done at some point this weekend. I did it today. So let's keep this momentum going this weekend. So it is, like I said, it's still Friday night. By Sunday night, I want to finish Betting on You. I'd like to start and finish The Wedding People, which is my book club's pick for the month. And I'd like to read one of the 3 books I've chosen for my next Goodreads Achievement Award thing that they do seasonally now. So let's put that into the universe. I do not have any plans tomorrow at all. Like, I have very loose plans to maybe play something with my brother. Very loose plans, but yeah, I don't have any actual plans for Saturday or Sunday. And then I don't actually know if I'm working on Monday. I think I told you guys like roughly that I'm in training, and my trainer only worked Monday to Wednesday, so those were the days that I was working, and they were very short hours because that's when my trainer was working. My trainer is now left, so I'm either going to be working Monday to Wednesday and do the same hours for a couple more weeks, or starting this week I'll be working 8 to 4 Wednesday to Friday. But I don't know which one yet, and it is Friday. So I messaged my manager earlier being like, hey, like, I know it's technically Friday night, like, you're off for the weekend. What days am I working next week? And she has told me someone else will be reaching out, hopefully tomorrow. So I'm either going to, same as always, do my Monday to Thursday. Same as always, do my Monday to Wednesday. Or I'm going to have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to read. So we'll see what happens. I do at this point hope that it stays Monday to Wednesday for the next 2 weeks, because, or at least for the next week, because I've got plans both Wednesday and Thursday next week. And like I did this week, it worked out really well. I feel like if I have Monday, Tuesday off, then work Wednesday, go out Wednesday night, work Thursday, go out Thursday night, I'm going to be very, very exhausted. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you updated if anything changes. Okay, so it is officially Saturday morning. It is 2 in the morning. I just wanted to show you guys that I did straighten my hair. And you know what? I really, really like it. I feel like I look a little bit more older, like a little bit more real. I like the length. It feels very healthy and very light. So that's my hair. I also did finish Betting on You, and this is the Lynn Painter that I've grown to love and expect. I would highly recommend if you like YA, fake dating, dealing with family issues, acting a little bit immature but not knowing how to get past it. This is the book. I really loved it. I gave it 5 stars, which means I've got all of Saturday and Sunday to read my book club pick and then whatever else I want to. So yeah, we're having good times. Guys, I'm so happy with my hair. Like, I think you can see my roots are slightly lighter than the ends, but it actually doesn't look too... In person, my hair looks a lot darker. It was quite jarring. My brother saw my hair and he goes, oh my god, it's so dark. It did come out a lot darker than it looked on the box. But for an at-home job, I'm very happy with my hair. Anyway, it is time to go to sleep. I am well and truly, like, done with today. And I will update you if I read anything tomorrow. Hello, my friends. It is Saturday. It is 2:45 in the afternoon. I have not read anything today, but I have got some things to tell you about. Now, I was going to tell you, I found a book that I was looking for a couple of weeks ago. Roll the clip. Now, this isn't actually the Sally Hepworth book I wanted to find. I was hoping to find. The one I wanted to find is called The Younger Wife. Lo and behold, I did not find that book. I thought I'd found that book. I was like, yep, that's the book that I found. Let me go rewatch that clip so I can add it to this video. I didn't find The Younger Wife. I found The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. So, found this at the Salvers today with my parents. It was $4. I grabbed it so quickly because I was so convinced that this is the book that I'd been trying to find last week or a couple weeks ago. I was wrong. I have no idea what this book is about. Something about, like, a couple has a perfect life, but then they get involved in some crime, and it's like, how far would you go to protect your soulmate? It isn't the book that I thought it was, but that is not the reason that I wanted to tell you guys what I found today. Also, look at my hair in daylight. It is not as dark as it looked yesterday, I don't think. Like, keep in mind that everything from here down was that, like, gross orange color. So we're feeling very profesh, feeling really cute. The book I actually found, so me and my family and my parents, we went to, like I said, the Salvers, and then we went across the road to Kmart, and because we were already at the shopping center, I was like, can we just go QBD? Like, there's nothing I'm looking for, but I just want to have a little browse. So we went to QBD, and I picked up a book, guys. I picked up a book, and I was like, oh my gosh, it is the exact same price on Amazon. I've been wanting to get it from Amazon, and now I'm, like, supporting a local bookstore, but I'm not paying, like, super, super high prices. I was very excited, so I picked up this book. I was like, I'm gonna get this book. And then I flipped, and I opened the front cover, and I was like, someone has signed this book. This book is signed, okay? And I thought, okay, maybe now, I'm just going to tell you, like, the actual details. This book was listed at $25, right? Had a sticker for $25. It did not have a sticker on the cover saying, like, signed by the author, okay? So I open it, and I see this signature in it, and I was like, holy fuck, it's signed by the author, which, FYI, I was so excited. $25 for a signed book from QBD, to me, is ridiculously well priced. So I was very excited. I was like, fuck yeah, like, I grabbed it. I was like, I'm not letting it go. This is my special find of the day. And then I got a little bit weird and I was like, maybe it isn't even this author's signature. So I Googled the author's signature and I compared the photos and I'm like, no, it's definitely this author's signature. And then I thought maybe this has been priced as a regular edition and whoever put the price sticker on the front didn't realize it had been signed, because obviously that's going to make the price go up. So I was sitting there and I'm like, I had a bit of an ethical dilemma and I was like, I really should tell them, like when I go up to the counter to pay, should I mention like, oh, it's so cool that it's signed, with the knowledge that it might change the price? Like, what do I do? So whatever, I went to the counter to pay for it and the girl behind the counter goes, oh, you found one of our secret signed books. Now, every edition of this book that I saw in the store, because I did end up finding a stack of these books and going through them and they were all signed, I don't know if it is so cool that I found a book that doesn't have a signed sticker on it and that I happen to find a signed copy just because of my interest in this book, or if it's a little bit shady that they haven't got stickers on the books saying that they're signed. Because like, how many people pick up a book at a bookstore and then flip to the title page? Like, I don't think many people do that. I don't know, man. All I'm saying is, when she said you found one of our secret signed books, which I didn't know this was a thing QBD does. Apparently QBD will have books signed by the author on the shelves with no stickers or like no acknowledgement that the book is signed. And if you find them, like, good for you. It's so weird. So anyway, yeah, my initial instinct was, oh my god, that is so exciting, that is so fucking fun. And I showed my mom and I was like, Mom, I'm so excited. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's like a super special thing if you are a fan of the author to find a signature. And I guess there's also some sort of element of people only buying books because they're signed. Like, we're not advertising it because we want actual fans of the book or people that are actually interested in the book with or without the signature to purchase it. I don't know. I thought it was just a really strange thing. But let's just show it. It is Hot Wax by ML Rio. Now, guys. She's signed. So, I'm very much excited. As you can tell, very excited. I have only ever read If We Were Villains by ML Rio. I fucking loved it. I own Graveyard Shift. I will be reading it next month for spook season because it is quite a short book. I don't know if this counts as a horror. I know this has to deal with like rock and roll and selling your soul to the devil. I don't know if it's a horror or if it's like a thriller or a mystery. I don't know what the vibe is of this book, but like, I am just so fucking excited. So yeah, this is I think $24.70 on Amazon, and this was $25 at QBD signed. So if you are interested in this book at all, and you have a QBD near you, like, go check it out. I don't know if every single edition at QBD is signed or it was just special to mine, but that's exciting. And one last thing, this is like a little bit of an annoyance. I don't want to sound like a dumb bitch, but this thing has annoyed me. So I got an email today about the Lucy Score event that I'm attending on Wednesday. So it is I think it's like a Q&A and a signing, and there were two options for tickets. You could either just like buy admission to see Lucy Score and meet Lucy Score and get some books signed, or you could do the like deluxe ticket, which includes a tote bag and an exclusive edition of one of her later releases, like one of her last releases that came out. And I purchased that one because the price edition for the deluxe book and the tote bag seemed more than fair. So I was like, I want to get a special book as well. Like, I want to have a good time. So I just did that. And okay, the website, when you pay for the ticket, said that you obviously get to go to this event for your ticket, for the basic ticket, and get 3 books signed by Miss Lucy Score. Okay, and I was like, perfect, that for me is the Knock 'Em Out trilogy, books 1, 2, 3. I will get her to sign. Then we got an email today saying that yes, you will get 3 books signed by Lucy Score, but if you purchased the ticket that comes with the deluxe edition of her newest book, that automatically counts as one of your signatures. Is that not weird? Like, I know when I purchased the ticket and I got the one that said plus the deluxe hardcover of such and such book, it did say signed deluxe hardcover, but I assumed like those books being signed. Like, they are already signed. They were going to be signed regardless. And you get that book, plus you get to have Lucy sign 3 of your personal books. And I just find it a bit weird that, like, that is not the case. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm complaining about nothing. Like, I find that as I'm getting older and getting more into, like, special editions and signed editions, I'm getting very annoying and very, like, particular. But, and, like, it's great. I know that some authors will only sign 1 book. So the fact that she's willing to sign 3 per person is amazing. Like, 100%. I do just find it, like, a little tiny bit strange that it's like, well, she is signing 3 books, but one of them you don't, like, one of them has already been taken out of the equation. I would have honestly preferred that if they said, if you've purchased the deluxe signed hardcover, she will sign 2 books for you, because, like, now I'm gonna have an odd one out, which again is ridiculous. Like, I'm so goddamn lucky and I'm so blessed that I'm literally going to meet Lucy Score. Like, I'm going to meet the woman who gave me the Knock 'Em Out trilogy. And I'm blessed and I'm so fucking grateful. But it means that I'm going to have 1 book in a trilogy not signed. And I already know which book it's going to be. Like, The Things We Hide from the Light is my least favorite of the series. So obviously, like, that one's just not going to get signed. It's just a bit annoying. But anyway, so I got those 2 books today. Plus I got, now this is technically a pajama top, right? But it is, like, so soft and so cozy. I actually don't give a fuck that it's meant to be a pajama top. I'm just gonna wear it whenever, wherever. And yeah, guys, I am obsessed with my hair. I think I look a little bit older and a little bit more mature, but not necessarily, like, in a bad way. I think I just look like a grown-up. And I'm so glad that my hair is all one color again. I've missed having boring brown hair. Anyway, I'm really not in the mood to read today. I think it's because yesterday I read 1.5 books that, like, my brain might need a bit of a break from reading. If I do read today, I am going to try reading The Club by Ellery Lord, just because this is, like, a basic ass thriller that I want to get off of my shelves. Like, I want it off of my TBR list. So maybe I'll start it today, maybe I won't. Who's to know? I'll keep you updated. Okay, so friends, it is about midnight, so we are just about to hit Sunday morning. I did start reading The Club. Now, I will say I'm only about 80 pages into it, and I'm not disliking it at all. It does seem like a very basic mystery. We are following a bunch of rich people, celebrities, influential people that go to this new resort that's opened up called The Club. Well, it's actually called Home Island, but you have to be in the club to get invited to stay at Home Island. And all it seems like, all I know so far within 80 pages is the owner is a massive dick. Like, has random spurts of, like, super violent anger and treats people like shit, and, like, he ends up dead by the end of this book. That is all I really know so far. I think I'm probably going to finish it because it is just such a standard mystery that, like, I'm not having to think too hard. It's like a nice little filler book after some of the amazing books I've read this month. It's just a book to kind of pass the time, I guess. Based on how I'm going right now, I don't think I'm going to keep this book, but I do think it'll be, like, probably a 3-star. Like, it'll be a fine book. So yeah, and I do actually want to continue reading it, surprisingly, so I will continue reading it, probably after this clip. And then, if I finish this tonight, I don't know what I'm moving on to tomorrow. Maybe The Wedding People, because I do have my book club meeting Thursday, so I should probably read The Wedding People this weekend, but I could just read it on Thursday before the book club meeting. I don't know, guys, but this is the last clip for Saturday, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Is anyone surprised that it is Sunday night and this is the first clip I'm filming today? Literally no one should be surprised. So, some fun updates. I finished The Club this morning. I gave it a 3.5 star. I was completely wrong. This is, like, a pretty standard thriller, but it is also really fun. It is told or written in crack format, like that's what the kids are calling it now. I think crack format is when like each chapter is really short and most of the time it ends on a cliffhanger, so you just keep reading and like, oh, just one more chapter, one more chapter, one more chapter. That's what happened with this book. By the time I ended up going to sleep this morning, I only had like 40 pages left. Like, I zoomed through this book. So this book follows, as I mentioned before, a company or a man, I guess, that has created this exclusive club. The club is called Home, and there are these home resorts all across the world, but he's just opened one called Home Island, and he has invited the most exclusive guests to be there, but it is not all as glamorous as it seems. The owner, Ned, has actually gathered quite a few important people there for a very specific reason, and the reason is blackmail. And there is more than just like one murder in this book. There is quite a lot of murder, and it was really fun. I gave it 3.5 stars. I will actually be keeping it. This one was just a very fun book. Like, it was a good filler book. It was a good book to read in between romances, which leads me on to the next book that I finished today. Today I started and finished Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. This is her latest release, I believe, and that means with this book I'm entirely up to date on Abby Jimenez's releases. Well, now I'm doubting myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is her 7th novel, I think, and I have read all the other ones. So this is Abby Jimenez is one of my order by authors. I have purchased and read her books in chronological release order. So this was the one that was released this year, and for some reason it just took me a while to get into it because I heard some really not great things. I heard people that love Abby Jimenez read this book and be like, yeah, it wasn't really a romance though, like it didn't really hit as much as her other books. I disagree. I cried by the end of this book because there was just this scene between our MMC Xavier and this other gentleman named Hank, and that conversation like actually brought tears to my eyes. I don't know why, man, it just hit me right in the feels. So in this book we are following Samantha and Xavier, who both live in Minnesota when the book begins. They meet because Xavier is a vet and Samantha has just acquired a baby kitten. They meet. He's a bit of an asshole. She kind of likes it. They go out on this date, and basically as their date ends, Samantha's like, yeah, by the way, I am moving to California tomorrow, and he realizes that she's not coming back. Like, she's fully moving to California to help take care of her mom, who has been diagnosed with dementia. But they had such an amazing date that like neither of them really wants to give up the potential of this relationship. So it is just a lot of longing and a lot of long distance, and it actually focuses a lot on her mom's dementia diagnosis, but also focuses a lot of Xavier. I say Xavier as an Australian, but they said Xavier in the audiobook. I don't know. But Xavier's parents were super abusive to him, like verbally, but physically and mentally and emotionally. And he spends a fair amount of the book kind of struggling with his need to prove them wrong and doing what is right for him. I thoroughly love this book. I don't think Abby Jimenez can do any wrong, in my opinion. So this is a 5-star, which means that the 2 books I finished today, like I both enjoyed them. I enjoyed both of them. I think I had a pretty successful reading week because from memory, I read Checkmate, The Troop, Betting on You, The Club, and Say You'll Remember Me during this vlog, which was like more of a week vlog than a weekend vlog, but that means that I read a fair amount. So I'm going to pat myself on the back, and very exciting. So I still need to write up an actual review for Say You'll Remember Me, but first I'm going to have some apples with peanut butter. It is my new favorite snack. I use like a peanut butter protein powder that you can mix into a peanut butter because calorically and protein wise so much better for you than just normal natural peanut butter. And yeah, I slice up an apple. My favorite type of apples are called Bravo apples. I went on a whole like week-long journey to discover which variety of apple was my favorite because there are so many options. I thought there was like Granny Smiths, Pink Ladies, and like the Delicious, Golden Delicious or some shit like that. There's like 7 different types of apples at the supermarkets that I shop at. So I tried all 7 and I found out that Bravo apples are my favorite. So I slice up a Bravo apple, I mix up my peanut butter protein powder, and I dip my apples in my peanut butter, and it is like my favoriteest snack right now. I've already prepped lunch for work tomorrow. The only thing I didn't do this weekend was actually write up new work notes but I don't really know if I need to. Like, they are there, they're just not typed up and printed, which doesn't really matter to me. I can probably actually do that while I'm at work tomorrow. That's a good idea. I might just do that at work. So tomorrow's my first day of work where I'm technically not training. Like, I am trained, as much trained as I can be at this point in my job. I'm very excited. I think I'm going to feel a little bit profesh, a little bit like, oh, this is my job now, as opposed to being like, I feel like during the training of a new job, you're very much unsure of like, okay, well, I'm not going to put any of my stuff in the fridge or like put any stuff in drawers or like decorate my desk because, you know, like maybe it won't work out. Like maybe by the end of the training, I'll want to leave, but like I'm here. So I'm going to start personalizing my desk, and I'm going to bring some drinks to put in the fridge so I don't have to lug them into work every single morning. I'm just very happy right now. I'm at a very content point in this year. 2025 did not start as a good year, and then it got worse, and then it got even worse, and like we're slowly bringing 2025 back. Yes, it is September. It has taken a while to get to this point of being happy in 2025, but I am finally there. And guess what, guys? I get to meet Lucy Score on Wednesday night. I get to meet Lucy Score, and then on Thursday I get to catch up with my book club girlies. Like, it is going to be a good week. I have decided I do not give a shit what else happens. This week is going to be my motherfucking week, but I hope this week is also your motherfucking week. I hope you have an amazing week. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope that you read if you wanted to read, and if you didn't want to read, I hope you got up to some fun stuff. So yeah, I'm very happy, and I hope that you guys are happy too, and I will see you for the next video whenever that may be.